Hello and welcome to my Path of Exile build diary, where I try out some builds that were floating around in my head for a while now, or just some builds that I saw from other players that I wanted to try out myself. Today I am playing Manastacking Rage Vortex of Berserking Whisperer, inspired by a video or an old build from MB Extreme, because I thought we got the perfect ascendancy during this event, the Legacy of Victoriya or something. Sadly, I couldn't play the build right away, so I leveled with Rain of Arrows. During Act 6 I actually dropped my first Divine this league, even though I already had a character with 30 hours of playtime. That was cool. Yeah, and then I just finished the campaign in a little bit under 5 hours. That was good, I would say, even while trading a little bit. After that we leveled in maps until I think level 73. That was too early to switch actually, but I realized that later. And then I started to buy the key pieces to my build that I needed. I also bought some items that I switched out later. For example, the amulet, Marilyn's fallacy, but more to that later. Then I did a respec from my scuffed Rain of Arrows build to the bare bones of my Rage Vortex build, with a lot of mana and rage sustain. The idea of my build was to just stack mana and sustain the rage through rage on hit, but that wasn't really possible. But more to that later. Then I bought some rare gear just to fix my res and maybe get some life, if possible. And of course with mana. Then I switched the ascendancies in my lab so I can finally play my build. Yeah, and my first map, I realized that I had to jump on the enemies to generate some rage at the beginning to cast the skill that I wanted to use. And that was kind of scuffed. So I thought about it again and I changed my mind. I am switching to Chainbreaker in combination with Rage on Hit. And for that I needed some mana regeneration, so I bought a blue pearl amulet and threw some essences on it so I get enough mana regen. Then I crafted a nice tincture, a really good boost to our damage, and easily usable because we leech so much mana that we don't really have to care about it that much and turn it off after 6 seconds or something because our mana is empty. And here you see the first map after the switch, and you see it's really a big difference. Of course, I also got some levels because for the blue pearl amulet you have to be level 77. After a good T10 map, I decided that I wanted to do my last lab. And after some more leveling, I finally got my Void Stones that I did not get with my first character because my first build was hot garbage. After selling a big idol, I was able to upgrade my gear a little. That meant that I got a new anoint, a 6-link Doriana's prototype, fractured base for crafting, since the unique gloves weren't that useful as I thought. So I threw some essences on it until I had some res, and then I just went with that and slammed the low tier mod on it. Then I tried to get Rage on hit with some small embers, but even after I think around 100 tries I couldn't get it. So I just settled with attack speed and decided maybe I'd try it later again. Then I also bought an Unnatural Instinct, and that in the combination with Light of Meaning gives a lot of mana at that point in the tree. After that I started to farm invitations, and I also got a nice drop there that I could have used myself, but I thought, well, 6 divs are worth more invested into something else. Here are the Formed, which I thought was a really good example of the build and how good it is at bossing, at least in this form. More to that later. After that I decided that I wanted to get my other 2 Void Stones, so I did Maven, which was a horrible fight for me because my sustain works through Leech and sometimes you can't Leech in the Maven fight, and I died a lot there. So that was not nice. The Uber Elder fight was way better and I got a nice drop, especially in this event, that I was able to sell rather quickly, and because of that I was able to invest a lot of money into my build. So I tried to get a better Paradoxica with lightning damage and attack speed on it, but after like 20 tries I think, I just gave up on it because I did not even see the lightning damage mod even once, even though I saw the fire and cold damage mod multiple times. But it wasn't that bad. I just sold some of the Paradoxicas that I unveiled, and with that I basically make my money even. Then I bought a new pair of boots because I actually wanted to respec a little bit and switch to full suppress. After 100 essences or so, I got a nice res with a high life mod, and I was able to craft Suffixes Cannot Be Changed with the Wild Brittle Beast or Brittle Matron, whatever. And after that I needed a Veiled Orb, so I ran the Katarina that I still had prepared and just dropped the orb myself. First try, that was nice, because there were like 4 diff at the time. Then I did not fail the 50-50 Unveiled Mana and crafted movement speed. Then I got Avoid Being Shocked after 4 diff of Embers again. And with that and Storm Shroud I was ailment immune. Then I did another respec from the left side with the whole rage sustains thing to the right side, so I get full suppress. And Iron Reflexes is something that I also got because you need armor if you use Doriana's prototype. Yeah, then I realized that I still had a skill point missing. I don't know when I remembered that, but I just wanted to check that again. And yeah, it seems like I really forgot one. After, I think, getting suppressed to 85% or so, I wanted to try a T70 map because I still had the map slot that I wanted to get and wanted to see how good my build works. And it was really good. I finished the map with 2 deaths, I think, and I got both of these deaths while doing the boss because I am not really good with bosses and I never really run T17s, so I don't know what they do. Then I recrafted my gloves because I needed some suppress on them, so I threw SSS on it until I got a good res modifier and suppress modifier. Then I failed the 50-50 on my gloves, and yeah, it wasn't that bad, but it was kind of sad because I wanted the mana. Then I got mana through the Unveil, but I would have taken the AoE if I still had the mana on it. And after slamming T1 armor and evasion rating, I was kind of happy with them. Not perfect, but whatever. And after getting a Calandra's Touch for 2 diff, we were suppress capped because of Mage Bane. So I decided with my new equipped 100% spare suppress that I will just continue what I have done before and did my formed invitations because that's something that I really like because it's not really complicated. You just run the map, drop more maps and then fight the bosses. Doing which I also found the Black Knight the first time this league or this event, and he dropped me a nice shield that I was able to sell for a good amount of money. Then I got a new Timeless Jewel because, well, I needed some new strength source. And these can be really good. And as you can see, I am getting deal double damage, but that doesn't even make any sense because we use the Paradoxica that also already deals double damage. So all of these mods were actually quite useless, or not quite, they were useless. Yeah. After that, I continued to farm a little bit, did the Conqueror invitation, and that was when I decided that the build was finished for me. It wasn't finished in the sense that you wouldn't be able to get more upgrades, like for example a useful timeless jewel. But I wanted to try another build, and so I decided to make a cut here. Yeah, it's me again. While editing, I realized that I didn't really explain the mechanics of the build. Basically, we exert our rage Vortex of Berserking with ambush. With that, we basically are at 100 crit chance with very little investment. Then we use Mana Storm. That gets us a lot of flat damage, a lot of flat lightning damage, of course, based on our mana pool. And with that, we run to the map. So basically, at the start of the map, we use Rage Vortex, so we can leech to full again. And then when we are full, we use Ambush, cast the Vortex again, and after that it's just running around because it got exerted, and now it is just exerted for the rest of the map or rest of the cast, because the Vortex uses more and more rage to sustain. We sometimes have to ambush again and then cast it again, but it's very easy, let's just say that. Now you see, okay, our mana ran out, or our rage ran out, so we cast it again, we use ambush. While mapping, it isn't even important to get full mana, maybe just a little bit of flat damage is enough to one-hit everything, especially if we use our tincture. That's like 30-40% more damage for some reason, I don't know why they are so strong. And that's kinda how the build works. Sometimes we cast Enduring Karai because we have the time, basically. Yeah. The problem is with the build that when you run into an arena, no, I can't leave, is that rage always turns off, but then you just do the same as at the start of the map. So you leech to full, use ambush, cast. The enemies die while you only look at them, basically, and that's it. Yeah, I hope that clears a little bit of the confusion that I maybe created while just talking about how I upgrade my build. Yeah, and the POB is in the description. It's really self-explanatory. It really explains itself. You stack mana, you get some suppress here, some life there. Accuracy if needed. I needed it even though I had a nice ring and a Calandrous touch. And precision even. Weird mechanic, I have to say, that you have to get so much accuracy. And yeah, After that, we get mana from here. We also get mana from, or flat damage from that ascendancy. So that's why, even if you don't have the full mana while using ambush, it doesn't matter. You still deal a lot of damage. Yeah. That's kind of it. Thanks for watching. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help out a lot. And if you have any questions, if you really want to play the build, then ask me in the comments. Just one thing to note, because we play Doriana's prototype, we have a lot, we have some problems with damage over time, lightning damage over time. It's rare, but it's there. The lightning donuts enemies are not a problem, but for example, the Elder Guardian with the lightning damage does some lightning dot. You can't really fight them. So if you plan to farm Elder Guardian invitations with that build, it's not possible. I don't see how you would do that. And because we don't have regen, because our whole recovery relies on leech, yeah, that's just one thing. Other than that, it's really tanky actually, the build. I ran T17s, I ran juicy T16s, it wasn't a problem, just not very specific content. That's really it. Thanks for watching.